Welcome to the Open Air, all the way from Benton, Kansas. I am welcomed here today with Jeff Jorgensen, and we're going to have a lot of exciting guests.
Hey, everybody.
That are going to stop in here and talk to you guys. I'm geeked about this. How about you, Jeff?
I am excited. This is the Aviation Content Creators Award, first annual event, and this all happened as a result of COVID-19, really. But, a dear friend of mine, Dan Greider, has been working with Clemens Insurance to put on this event, and they are phenomenal. So we definitely appreciate them and for putting on this event. But they started putting all of this together. I don't know, there's hundreds of people here. I don't remember how many airplanes, dozens of airplanes on the field. They started putting this together on May 1st, the first week of May.
And we had breakfast, and it was fantastic. They had the buffet style breakfast.
Yeah, they had a buffet style breakfast.
It was like next level from hotel type stuff. I mean, it was really good. And everybody here, it's kind of weird. You go to radio stuff. You go to conventions in Las Vegas and stuff like that, and it's a different level of friendly when you're around pilots and when you're in this environment. I noticed that everybody here seems happy. Everybody is happy to be here, and they're happy that we are here.
We're happy that we're not at home in our stressful daily jobs or lives or families or whatever thing's going on at home. We're happy because we're flying and we enjoy that immensely. And, we're happy because this is a neat event. We've pulled together people literally in just over 2 months' time. We've pulled together all of these people and all of the events that are going on, right? So there's been speeches. There's a ton of banners out there.
A lot of information, too, about how to get better on YouTube.
Great information about content and content creators, right? So this is a learning experience. We're all sharing information. I have made great contacts with some of the other content creators here. Mm-hmm. Just great contacts. They know a lot. We have all mutual friends in common. Mm-hmm. And I was just talking to some of them we're going to interview later, right? So It's just incredible. And the atmosphere here. So I've been flying for a long time. I've gone to a lot of aviation trade shows.
Since your wings grew in, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yep. So since the days of Icarus, that's that long I've been flying. But it's cool because these aviation trade show events, you nailed it, have an atmosphere. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but it's a happy.
I think happy is content. Happy
content,
to be here.
Trust,
yes.
Right? So these are the level of integrity here. Like, so my van is currently unlocked, and it's got some of my equipment in there, stuff in there, and I don't even have to worry about it.
My equipment is in there. I literally left my equipment. I had to get a special shot of that Electra, and I literally left about $12,000 worth of equipment with some lady I had never met before, and I didn't even know her name at the time, and I felt perfectly comfortable with it. I was like,
sure,
yeah, I'm fine.
So
fine with that.
I was at an aviation trade show event, actually the Air Venture Oshkosh event, which would normally happen the last week of July, and was canceled this year due to COVID-19. One time I lost my wallet with hundreds of dollars in cash at that event. And it's got my driver's license, it had my pilot's license, my medical, my ID, all of my credit cards, hundreds of dollars in cash. This is irreplaceable stuff, right? I mean, this would be weeks to replace, and the loss was tremendous. And they have a lost and found booth there, and a few hours later I went to that lost and found booth after I looked everywhere I could think of, and somebody had turned it in. All the cash was there, everything was in it. And there was, at that event, they have 10,000 airplanes and 500,000 people and basically a 10-acre airport. It was just incredible. Another year, I sat my camera down. I had a very nice Sony camera that I sat down, and I walked away from a minute, and when I came back, it was gone, and I thought it had gotten stolen. Somebody else had mistaken it for their camera and walked off of it sort of by accident. They thought it was their wife's camera, or the wife thought it was her husband. I don't remember exactly.
Just an accident.
But it was a complete accident. And when they realized, so I had a sticker with my name on the camera, and they actually got a hold of me, and they said, we apologize. It was a complete mistake. So a few hours later, I got my camera back.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
That's always nice.
So that's the level of integrity at these events, right? So
I would have freaked out. I would have been freaking out.
I was.
If my camera, I'd spend a little bit more on cameras than the average Joe.
Well, this was the most I had ever. So this was $1,000 camera, which is the most I have personally ever spent on a camera. And
I call chump change on that one. So, but still, I mean, it's $1,000. That's a lot of money.
That was a huge purchase decision for me. This was 10 years ago, right? And so I didn't have $1,000 to spend on a camera.
Do you know what $1,000 is to me? Half a lens.
Yeah,
that's realistically half a lens.
But that was my starter camera, and it was just a hobby for me. So, but it was. But you don't want to.
But you won awards with that. I mean,
I did.
You won
first place photography awards.
Department of Transportation.
I did.
Iowa Department of Transportation gave you a first place award. So that was fantastic. Yep. So that $1,000 camera works. Plus, you got a good eye. So.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So coming from
nowhere
a photographer,
near your level, but that's quite a compliment coming from you. I appreciate it.
I don't give them very often, so count your blessings. So who are you? We've talked to a few people. I talked to a really nice young lady outside who I left my stuff with, Emily. And she is a female pilot. She flies for an airline. She's going to come and talk to us in a little bit. Yep. Who else are you wanting to talk to that you're excited about?
Mark and Mike Patey are here.
Okay.
And so
tell us who they are.
So
who are those guys?
So Mike Patey has he's an engineer. They run the Best Tugs organization.
If you don't know what Best Tugs are the
aircraft tugs,
the
right?
things that bolt onto the front of the plane and moves.
They don't bolt on; they just clamp on, but they attach to the plane so you can pull it in and out of the hangar.
Yeah, without a lot of physical
airplanes
effort.
are heavy, right? So it's hard to push them by hand. But the little tugs,
if they're that heavy, how do they fly through the air? No, I'm just kidding.
It's all magic.
Magic.
It's
magic. Of course.
Fairy dust.
All you need is when they make you a pilot, they give you a magic wand.
Yep.
And all you do is bippity boppity fly.
The magic wand has fairy dust and unicorn farts in it.
Yeah.
And
the farts are the turbo.
That's how airplanes fly.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's very scientific.
It is absolutely.
You're giving away frisbees?
I have collapsible frisbees, yeah.
So what did they say? They say open air on it. And most of our listeners probably know what open air is. But for those that are new, that maybe just heard of us this weekend from this event.
I'll give you a frisbee.
That's awesome. So hold on, we got a big plane coming.
That would be a Lockheed Electra, it sounds like.
Yeah,
the Amelia plane.
2 big engines.
You got some video of that, I think, earlier.
I do.
I saw you out there drooling over it a little bit.
We will. We'll put that somewhere in.
Do we tell people we're going to go fly it later, or do we leave that
I don't
out?
know if we are. Yeah, I mean, if we
we're signed up.
Try.
So, we're going
to try to go.
So the
fly
cool thing about the open air frisbee, as a flight instructor, one of the lessons that you need to learn is the compass errors in an airplane. So the compass is the only part of an airplane, the traditional whiskey compass. So it floats in a glass container with whiskey.
You're making me thirsty.
And that compass card sits in there. It doesn't move. It always points north. The entire airplane moves, turns around, and everything else, and that thing sits there the whole time. It's the only part in the airplane that never moves.
And if you crash the airplane and want to get drunk, you just drink what's left out of the compass.
So this is the compass card.
Hold on just a second. We've got another.
So we can teach the compass turning errors, right, as a flight instructor.
Sure.
So ands and unos are I'm not going to get into that lesson right now.
No. That's boring stuff. Talk about the excitement here.
The excitement here.
Have you ever seen a ceiling fan that big? Have you ever?
You know what those are called?
I don't.
Those ceiling fans are called big ass ceiling fan.
Those are big ass.
Is that
ceiling
not
fans.
a big ass ceiling fan? It's epic.
It really is. Are they safe?
I mean, I don't think I would climb on it.
No,
but
I don't think I'd swing around from
I don't know that I would stand on a table either, because that would probably knock you off the table.
Those are solid. Those are metal.
Those are solid metal.
Blades are metal.
Those to have that kind of length, they've got to be pretty heavy and pretty rigid.
So why are we excited about interviewing Emily?
Emily is she's been flying for a while, and she started out. She was the only girl in her flight school. And, just some of the obstacles she had to overcome. And now she's been flying. She's made a career. She's now an airline pilot.
Fantastic.
Yeah, just doing a great career. And I want her to share her story. Because
for all the girls out there that wonder if they can do it.
Well, I remember when I started learning to fly, I had a lot of self-doubt. Right? Can I do this? Am I smart enough? Am I going to be able to afford it?
Do
I have the
that
time?
every day.
And it's scary, and you run into parts, and it seems really, really hard when you first start out. It's like, man, that's a lot of stuff. I don't know if I'll ever learn that. But as a flight instructor, and Emily will attest to this, right? We break it into little small parts, and we make it accessible, affordable, and achievable. And it's really, you just got to get started. You just got to do it, and that's what Open Air wants to help people do it. That's what we do.
Well, hey, let's take a quick break to pay for the lights and internet, and then we're going to be back with a special guest.
Cool. Thanks, Monty.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Open Air from the Open Sky State of Kansas. No, it's actually not the Open Sky State. Kansas is the what state? What is Kansas?
Air capital city, air capital of the world. That's our big motto.
Air capital
of the world. Yeah. So
that
here
kind
with
of
Emily.
fits in with our thing a little bit.
Emily is an airline pilot, which is
a woman airline pilot. I wouldn't dare get on that plane.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you were telling me
you
before
drove
we went
down
on
with
air.
Me. That was probably more dangerous than flying with her.
I know. I would be willing to bet that it was. So you told me that you have actually had somebody look in the cockpit, see you in the pilot's seat, turn around and walk off the plane.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me a couple times over the years. They just don't feel comfortable, and that's fine.
That just amazes me in this day and age.
It's too much fun for not everyone to enjoy it. So
yeah, that amazes me.
Yeah, that was
in this
totally
day and
their
age.
loss.
Yeah. So we were talking about that, and I was like, you would be the perfect guest on our podcast.
Yeah.
And Jeff said, yep, that's right. So you've got the questions, Mr. Airplane Man.
Yeah, so you were telling me that when you started flight training, you were the only girl in your class.
Yeah, that is true. I started flight school in the summer of 1991, and I was the only girl in all of my ground school classes. And not until I got my job that I have now do I have other females in ground school when I recurrent and whatnot. So, but yeah.
So, what made you want to fly? What was your inspiration?
My story is this: that I have an awesome extended family, and on Sundays we'd pick Grandma up, we'd go to church, we'd eat lunch, and then we'd get a little car ride, little scenery. Little car ride, and the last stop was always to the airport, and we'd sit and we'd watch the planes take off and land, and I fell in love with that.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And that just, in growing up, anytime anyone asked me, well, what are you going to do? I'm going to fly airplanes. And
what age was that?
We, as little as I can remember.
5, 6 years old.
Yeah,
something like that. So
yeah.
back then, you already had it in your mind.
Yeah,
Do it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things over the years. My family would always comment like, yeah, anytime you asked Emily, that's what she always said she was going to do, and she went and did it.
Did they believe it at the time?
I don't know that they believed it at the time, but I definitely grew up in a family that was very supportive and open to whatever kind of career or job you wanted to try to do.
You should freak them out and tell them you want to run for president. Because they're going to be like, she's serious.
I think the market's flooded with people.
You'd have to compete with Kanye West, for goodness sake.
I mean, exactly, yeah.
Forget that. You're not a very good rapper, I can tell right now.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe, but I'm just guessing Kanye's better.
So I have a question for you. So
Sure.
Men, when I've flown in the airlines, have the airline pilot voice. Do women have an? I've never flown on an airline with a woman pilot. Do you have the pilot voice?
Like I have a radio voice that I change to.
Yeah.
Do you change your voice for that?
Like you crackle and say.
Probably unconsciously that I do without thinking about it, but. Yeah, I'm sure I do.
So pretend that you get your headset on right now, and give us the rundown when you started.
Give
what
us
do you
an
tell
announcement.
us?
Okay, just give me just a second here. Let me think one through.
You need a checklist when I went out?
Engine
just about. I just about can't do anything without a checklist.
Engine 2's on fire, by the way.
I would say something like, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome aboard our flight today. Today's flight time will be 1 hour and 20 minutes. Expecting a nice ride, and I would like everyone to enjoy your flight with us, and welcome. Enjoy your ride.
I think I've flown with you before.
And welcome to the open air. I think you should throw that in there. Welcome to the open air.
Welcome to open air. That's right.
The open air.
Plug for the that's awesome. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
Neat. She sounded like a pilot.
So she
Did
did.
they teach you that in pilot school?
That's
Do you
what
have
I'm
to learn
telling
the
you.
voice?
Honestly, when my first true airline job, they gave you a little booklet, and it has examples of proper
Crackle
things
your
to
voice
say,
here, do this,
and the wording to say here, and yeah. So there is
cool.
manuals for that stuff.
So you actually learn how to talk in pilot school. That's
Yeah.
If you could talk to through this podcast, if you could talk to the 5 and 6-year-old girls today that are saying to their mom and dad, "I want to be a pilot," what would you tell them?
Oh, keep looking to the sky. You know, don't let anybody try to don't let anyone give you the hint of, well, don't you want to do this or that?
Shouldn't you be a stewardess instead?
Stick to your guns. If you have an interest in it, stick to your guns. That's the best advice I could give somebody.
What's the worst part of your job?
Oh, the worst part of my job.
Besides blizzard walkarounds.
See, I don't even know.
Because everybody knows that's the worst.
I mean, but that's, yeah. That happened to interact with the upset passenger.
Have you ever had to tackle somebody and tase them?
No,
Okay.
no, but I did have to in a polite way tell someone that they probably couldn't ride with us to their destination.
I'm the captain. It's either my way or the highway
that would
type
be,
of deal.
especially if they're.
But you have to do it in a tactful way.
Sure.
People,
A business way.
Well, if they're
an aggressive, but
So
You're
I've
in
flown
charge.
as a passenger. So I'm also a flight instructor. I've flown, but
Yeah.
as a passenger, I can tell you by the time I get up early and then pack all the last minute stuff, and then I forgot my toothbrush and all the other, I'm already frustrated. And then I hit traffic on the way to the airport, and I'm even more frustrated. And then I get in the TSA, and I forgot about my water bottle in my bag, and then I've got to throw that in, and now I'm even more frustrated. And then I get to the gate, and there's some seating dilemma, and so I'm angry.
sure.
Right? Before I even get on a plane, I've had all these little things. You know, you're stressed because you're trying to be on time, and you're going on this. You're trying so hard to have fun.
Right.
You forgot all about having fun. You're just angry.
Right.
You know, and then the guy next to you or the person next to you, whoever, says or does something that you perceive as mean, and that is the last straw. And now you're just.
Have you ever seen the movie? It's a Kevin Costner movie. It's called For the Love of the Game.
Oh, I love that movie.
And
yeah.
you remember when he said, engage the mechanism. So what he does is he completely shuts out the outside world, everything that happened to him on the way there, before there, and it's just him in that moment. Do you have a mechanism that you engage when you get on that plane?
Yeah, I do. But for me, it's more thoughts of, okay, reminder of what the seriousness of what my job is and what I'm doing, and then every time I need, my mind needs to be clear. I need to be thinking about what's going on.
For me as a pilot, I think it would be the checklist, right? So as soon as I get that checklist, I'm not thinking about anything else I had going on in my mind. I've got a whole bunch of tasks that I have to accomplish, right? In a short amount of time. Monty keeps shoving the microphone. Apparently, I'm not getting close.
Well, Jeff is having a conversation. Yeah, Jeff is having a conversation with her directly, and that's good.
Yeah.
But we're limited.
But
with
the microphone's not over here, so we're, road shows got limitations.
It does.
Note to self.
But that's all right.
Third microphone. That's on our bucket list now.
But no, you're absolutely. And
that's why we need a Patreon to get more microphones.
Absolutely, the checklist, and I do it without thinking, and so that's an excellent point. That's the moment you know.
So we were talking before you came in. We were talking in the first segment a little bit about inspiring kids, young ladies, and people to fly. And it seems overwhelming. Like when I talk to people that have an interest, I tell them it's almost like learning a new language, right? So it's going to seem overwhelming at first. Can I learn this? Can I afford it? Am I going to have the time? Am I smart enough? Am I good enough? Am I going to like it? They have all these emotions, and it's so. So, what is your advice to people that are coming in?
that it will feel like that at first, but remember that every just like when you're learning in school, the subjects, everything is broken down and it's built upon that. And as long as you have the true desire, once you get going, you can do it. Anybody can do it. I was a C student through high school. I wasn't the best student, and I've been doing this now over 20 years. So I mean, there's a way to do it. And the money part, you get it figured out. The biggest thing is once you get started, you get the desire to do it. Don't stop.
Hey, that reminds me of a dad joke that I like. What do you call the person who graduates with the lowest GPA in pilot school?
I don't know.
Monty?
Pilot. Or captain.
That's right.
Right? Because you graduated. It doesn't matter anymore.
It didn't matter anymore.
It's a pass-fail trade.
Exactly.
So
does nobody ever look at your scores?
When you fly with me, Monty, you're flying with a C student, just so you know.
I already knew that, Jeff. That doesn't surprise me at all.
No, my point is that it really truly can be for anybody.
Sure.
And as long as you have the desire and you do, and you just got to get it. Once you just got to get it started and stick with it, and just know that at times it will feel overwhelming. But everyone has a job at times that they have moments that they feel overwhelmed at it. And, that's just when you take a breath and you just start again at a different angle to it and build from that. So.
Very good point.
But,
very good. Oh, hey, we have been broadcasting on Facebook, at least one of our channels. I'm not sure which one.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to somebody on Facebook. There's my channel or
glad
Open
to see
Air.
on YouTube.
Something. We're not on YouTube.
So my Open Air organization, we do aviation STEM programs with schools. I'm used to doing live events with students. So because of COVID-19, and because I know a lot of these people, I've actually been flying for about the same amount of time that you have.
Awesome.
And as a hobby, right? So, and then I was a F-16 avionics technician and retired from the military, and now I'm a flight instructor. But I'm used to doing the live events and live programs with students, but because of COVID-19, and now I'm revamping, so I'm learning YouTube and podcasts and getting in that world so I can still reach my clients and my students and the schools and still do what my passion is, to teach aviation. And Dan and the Clemens Insurance Company invited me to this event, and we are launching our YouTube channel at this event.
Oh, fantastic.
So, and this is a first annual Aviation Content Creators Awards. I'm obviously not going to get any awards this year because I'm literally launching at this event, but next year is second annual.
We're going to win this
and
thing.
And we're going to win
big.
The trophy next year, right? So
we're going to win podcast aviation.
Can I say like, share, and subscribe? Please comment. Tell us what you want to hear about.
If you don't like, share, and subscribe, we're going to come to your house and we're going to throw frisbees at you until you get in. Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming. Oh, did you have another question?
Yeah, so you said that your son is interested in being a mechanic.
He's 17. He'll be a senior this year, and he is interested in being
out of here. You are not old enough to have a senior.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I actually have two kids. I have two boys, 17 and 12. And but the older one, he is researching A&P. He wants to be A&P mechanic.
Great.
Yeah, he's really excited about it. He got into a program through Wichita, Kansas, at the Wichita State University of VOTEC. And so he'll be able to take a couple classes while he finishes his senior year of high school. And so he's stoked.
So one of the cool things is actually yesterday, I don't even know if you know this, Monty, I actually got my 501c3 letter for Open Air. So now I am a certified by the IRS nonprofit organization.
That is awesome.
So we're going to start accepting donations and offering scholarships for people like your son. So we'll have an application process soon, and hopefully we can try to help out. That'd be awesome.
I'll be watching for that.
Very good.
Monty keeps scolding me for looking away from the mic when I'm talking, so
it's it's something. I have a lot of years in radio, and I started out when I was 15. So it's something that's ingrained into my mind that you haven't gotten used to yet because you don't have the years
I'm
behind the
right?
microphone.
So I talk to people live.
You talk to people. I talk to microphones that then talk in their ear, that then they talk back in the back of mine. It's just kind of a mental weird thing that you get used to. So, well, let's wrap it up. I appreciate it, Emily, for being on with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, absolutely. And we'll be back with segment number 3 coming up.
Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you.